better for a year or 2 years.
Is that because there's a better chance to find out some of these differences and become real friends?
Yes, a chance to find out if your relationship will wear well.
Yes, but can't we settle these differences after we're married?
And if you aren't successful, before you become too deeply involved, find out if the distance might turn out to be too great. Here's another angle that should interest you both. How age when married affects the chance for happiness. You can see that the chances are better after the man reaches 21 or so. The same studies showed that the woman must be 19 or 20 before the chances for happiness begin to be good.
But why? What's the difference between 19 and 21 or so?
The difference is in you the next few years. You, Larry, and you, Sue. Young people seem to change and mature in these years from 18 to 21 or even later. So that a person you might marry at 18 or so will seem like quite a different person to you a few years later.
Gee, hon. Doesn't take an engineer to see that we're on the bad part of the curve of these graphs. All of them.
Yeah. I see our chances aren't so good now. What are we going to do? I thought you were going to help us get married.
I believe I can. I think you two have a lot of what it takes to build a successful marriage. And yet, you wouldn't try to plan and build a house in 3 months, would you? Shouldn't a marriage have better planning? If you two are going to build a successful family team that will last for 40 or 50 years, how long do you think it should take to get ready for it?
All right. How do we know when we've done it?
When the two of you are ready for marriage, you'll sense a new feeling between you. The two of you united as a pair, thinking as one unit, acting as one unit in the building of a marriage and a new family. Your sense of pairedness shows up in the way in which you consider what's best for the pair of you over what you want individually for yourself. Think how often you speak of things from my point of view instead of ours. How often you say, I want, instead of we want.
I guess it wasn't my folks that needed convincing, it's me. I mean, it's us, isn't it, Larry?
Yeah, we'll say.
And so, in terms of the checklist for Cupid, Larry and Sue began to examine their readiness for marriage.
Do we have similar backgrounds? Do we agree on our religious beliefs? And have the same feelings about religion in general? Do we have the same ideals and standards and tastes? Do we enjoy the same friends? Do we share the same interests?
And what about Sue and me? Are we real friends? Do we have a real happiness in being together? Talking? Or just doing nothing together? Does each of us really want to make the other one happy? Do we have a real interest in each other and a sense of pride in each other? Do we know each other's peculiarities? Do we both have a spirit of give and take? Can we quarrel and come out of it with something better than before?
Do we really understand marriage? Do we understand the social aspects of marriage? Have we an understanding about money matters and how important it is to have enough money to do more than just get by? Do we understand the physical aspects and the family side of marriage? Do we know how much work there is to a marriage?
And overall, do we have a feeling of paired unity? Those questions were helping us to find out just how strong our relationship was and helping us to strengthen it. So the next time we called on Mr. Hall, we realized how much he had been helping us. He had been talking for some time with our parents, and there seemed to be general agreement that Sue and I now had a much better idea of just how much psychological distance still separated us.
If you want to, Sue, your mother and I, we can make arrangements for you to begin school at State U this fall with Larry instead of at the junior college.
If we want to.
Then, if you two get along, in school, that is, if you continue to reduce the psychological distance, then perhaps at Christmas vacation or at Easter vacation, we'll be glad to announce the engagement.
Oh, Larry! And then we can be married when Larry graduates in 2 years. I mean, 1 year and 10 months and 3 days.
Yes? If the engagement period gives you two the opportunity to work things out together, if you both still want it.
I guess you might say we're engaged to be engaged. And Mr. Hall, we both want to thank you. And say, now do you think we have anything more than...
Bang!
Why, yes, I think you've made a good start towards getting ready for marriage.